Friday, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another episode, and today we're going to talk about the Diamond League 100 meters that's taking place in London tomorrow. Now, as most of you are aware, Jamaica will be sending a relay team there as well. It's been making the news throughout this week, and we're going to touch a little bit on that as well. So the big one is the 100 meters for men, which will see Oblique Seville, Akeem Blake so far, based on what we have on the Diamond League website. We'll also see Noah Lyles as well as Letsile Tubogo. There are a couple other top athletes in there, Akane Simbini, etc., etc. But I want to keep it to those individuals that I just mentioned. As I said, we're going to delve some more into this. But before I go any further, remember, smash the like button and subscribe to Halftime TV if you have not yet done so. Also, I'm encouraging everyone who've watched this video, or if you're watching this video right now, to share your thoughts beneath. Go in the comment section, let us know what your thoughts are on those developments that we will be speaking of. Okay? Yeah, man. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about it because Jamaica sent a team to Barbados a couple of weeks ago for the Barbados Grand Prix. Christopher Taylor was a part of that. We had Boaje and Krumi, Adrian Golson as well, just to name a couple of them. That team fell short of qualifying for the Tokyo World Championship, or for the World Championship happening in Tokyo in September. What that means is Jamaica is using this Diamond League meet as another opportunity to meet that qualifying mark for the World Championship. And this is really that we're speaking about. If they do not get the time during this Diamond League meet, they will have another opportunity again between August 15 and 17, I want to say, at the NACAC championships. Okay, so one more opportunity after this one. However, the Jamaican analysts, they're expecting this to be the one where the Jamaican team qualifies for the World Championship, the relay. We have some of Jamaica's top athletes in London already and ready to compete in the relays. And by top athletes, I mean none other than Kishane Thompson, Jamaica's fastest man this year and Jamaica's fastest man in recent years. We also have Oblique Seville. He will be participating in the 100 meters as well. So it will be his first Diamond League 100 meters. He'll be participating in the relay. So it's 2 for 1 really. There were reports that Akeem Blake would be participating in the relays as part of the quartet. However, we have been receiving reports that Akeem Blake will not be competing in the relay and he will be replaced by Adrian Golson. The excuse for that is saying he basically wants to preserve his fitness ahead of the World Championship, which doesn't really make any sense to me because we can still see Akeem Blake listed to take part in the Diamond League 100 meters. So in the individual race, he's listed to take part. However, in the relay, he will not be taking part based on what we have received, the reports that we've received. And one of the big coaches in the MVP camp, he spoke about it a couple of years ago, where he said that there isn't enough effort being put into competing into relays because one, the athletes aren't paid to compete in these events, and secondly, basically them organized. And Raheem Ford, he came out and he said the same thing. Well, his team came out and said the same thing a couple of days ago because they basically reached out to him last minute to ask or to say, hey, will you be able to compete in the Diamond League relay in London? Ultimately, he would not end up participating. However, there were concerns because an athlete was involved in the initial setup that didn't really finish ahead of Raheem Ford at the national championship. So I think Raheem Ford, his team, asked the J3A for a comprehensive, not really a comprehensive, but a qualification plan. What was your plan for qualification going into these sequence of meets? What was the plan? What was the strategy? Doesn't seem like the J3A has one because in the end they didn't end up sending anything to Raheem Ford's team, and ultimately he would be omitted, or he would be excluded from the list of athletes scheduled to take part in the Diamond League. Really, in the relay for the Jamaican national team that's trying to qualify via the Diamond League meet. That makes sense. It's a mouthful, eh? Yeah. So some of the concerns that they had was basically the acquisition of a British visa for Ford, among others. But as I said, ultimately Ryan Ford would be left out. Now we have Ron Watson, we have Kadrian Golson, Kishane Thompson, and Oblique Seville, based on the names that were shared in acknowledgement of the fact that Akeem Blake has withdrawn. Okay, I think going into the 100 meters at the Diamond League, Akeem Blake has always been a mainstay. He's one of those frequent flyers, I like to call it, because he participates in most, like a lot of the times when we don't see Oblique Seville, when we don't see Kishane Thompson, we see Akeem Blake. He loves the Diamond League circuit, and understandably so, it's where a lot of these athletes make their money. So nothing is wrong with that. And him trying to preserve his fitness ahead of the World Championship in Tokyo, it's also understandable. But I think, like, in the first place, if there was a plan in place from the J3A, we wouldn't have gotten to this stage, because these discussions would have been done and dusted long before him being included, or long before he was included in the quartet. And based on what Ryan Ford's management came out and said, I think it's a similar situation where because Akeem Blake would have been participating in the Diamond League in London anyway, they said, hey, Akeem Blake will be participating in the 4x1 without proper consultation and without proper sign off, because I don't believe it's a case where he signed off to say, hey, I will be participating in the 4x1, and then he went back on his word to say, I have to preserve my fitness, because all of this would have been discussed well in advance. Also, the timing between both the 4x100 meter and the 100 meter. The 4x100 meter will happen at the 1:23, and this is UK time. The 100 meter for men will happen at 3:30, basically 3:27. So that's roughly 2 hours worth of break between both activities. So I don't know. I think a lot of things that have been happening in the background, this is what we're seeing now. This is what's culminating, and this is what's playing out in front of us, where Akeem Blake has, based on the reports that we received, withdrawn from the 4x100 meter team. And as of now, the quartet that will be competing for a place in the Tokyo World Championship to represent Jamaica in the relays are Kadrian Golson, Ron Watson, Oblique Seville, and Kishane Thompson. But also, I want to know, say for instance, these 4 qualify. When we get to Tokyo, would you be okay with Akeem Blake replacing either Kadrian Golson or replacing Kadrian Golson in the quartet, and basically saying, okay, I'm Jamaica's 3rd fastest man, I should be part of the relay team? Or would you be okay if the J3A replaced Kadrian Golson with Akeem Blake after they qualify? Let me know, because I always have concerns around those who don't really spend the time in the trenches, but when you get to the glory phase, they want to be there to soak in that bit of ecstasy. Again, those are my thoughts. Let's hear what you, the viewers and subscribers, have to say. Please leave those thoughts below this video. Again, Akeem Blake has reportedly withdrawn from Jamaica's 4x100 meter team at the London Diamond League. However, in the 100 meters for men, we still have, and this is a time of shoot, Friday morning, we still have the confirmed list as Jeremiah Azu, Akeem Blake, Louis Hinchcliffe, Zarnel Hughes, Noah Lyles, Oblique Seville, Akani Simbine, and Letsile Tobogo. So he's still part of the individual 100 meters. However, we've received reports that he will not be participating in the 4x1. Let us know how you feel about it, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers, and also the track and field fans in the diaspora. And remember, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.